Well, I'm not Nelly. I can tell you that much. But, for those of you who were like, the weather, it's a dark and stormy night, it must be Nelly. Could be Chaz, but a couple of times in the chat, you got it right. Hi, I'm Derek Knights, and I will be your Quizmaster for the Big Geeks Who Drink virtual quiz right here on the Twitch. We got some people. Karaoke is already here, and that means, if I'm not mistaken, that if you'd like somebody to score your rounds, you can send them straight to Karaoke, and he'll take care of that. He'll put his detail in the chat. Thank you, Don Rico Suave. This microphone is dope. This is an American D33 from 1958. I have another one you might notice back there, but that's a D22. This is the D33, which is 11 better than the D22. But these were made specifically for TV, the burgeoning industry of TV, so that people couldn't hide their beautiful faces behind microphones. And I'm more like, I'd kind of rather hide my face behind a big microphone. But I do love this. I do love these things. The D33s are so solid. And this is an original, all original body, all original guts from 1958. And American made some damn good microphones back then. Anyway, we are, we're going to do a quiz. And we have a special quiz for you tonight. It's the normal 7-round quiz, but we have 4 16-point rounds. 4 16-point rounds. So round 2, the audio round, round 5, the video round, round 6, and round 7 are all 16 points. So you can use that imaginary joker in one of 4 places. So you have many choices tonight. And saw somebody mention the fez. You know why I wear the fez? It's because I'm literally too lazy to do anything with my hair before these things. Like, I got a fez at my desk. I better wear the fez. No, I don't have a lot of hair, but I'm like, I'm not going to comb it. I'm not going to brush it. I'm going to wear a fez. So anyway, got Boltzmann Brain, subscribe to Tier 1. We got a lot of subscribers in the chat. If you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe. It's cool. And then, then you're subscribed. I really don't have any more of an explanation than that, but we are going to get moving with the actual quiz since that's what we're all here for. So let's get started where we usually do it, round number 1. Round 1 tonight is called My Children of the Night. But it's just a round about crickets. It's not about bats or vampires. It's a round about crickets in round 1. Question number 1. Add 40 to the number of times a thermometer cricket chirps in 15 seconds to get a pretty good approximation of the current what? Question number 1, add 40 to the number of times a thermometer cricket chirps in 15 seconds to get a pretty good approximation of the current what? There might be Lethal Corpse. There might be some mention of the fine sport of cricket in this round. We'll all have to wait and see. But round 1, it's about crickets. And we're at question number 2. Number 2, because a horse and a dang dragon weren't enough, what Disney heroine also had a cricket sidekick gifted by her grandmother? Number 2, because a horse and a dang dragon weren't enough, what Disney heroine also had a cricket sidekick gifted by her grandma? We are in round 1, and we are already at question number 3. Insofar as crickets have a butt, it's in which of their main body segments? Would that be the abdomen or the thorax? Question number 3, once again, insofar as crickets have a butt, it's in which of their main body segments? Abdomen or thorax? That's right, Jewish Viking. The thorax does speak for the trees, definitely doesn't speak for the knees or the bees. But anyway, hey, what are you drinking? What are you drinking tonight? Tell me in the chat. I have two things at my desk currently. One is an almost done Diet Mountain Dew, and the other is, I think this drink has a name. It might be called the French Connection. It's just brandy and amaretto, and I shook it with some ice and then added some root beer schnapps and some soda. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just a junkyard concoction. But it's good. And we are at question number 4. Number 4. After dividing A Christmas Carol into staves, what author adorably split his holiday tale, The Cricket on the Hearth, into 3 chirps? Question number 4, once again, after dividing A Christmas Carol into staves, what author adorably split his holiday tale, The Cricket on the Hearth, into 3 chirps? So we got a blueberry cider in the chat. Kimbo, Jerfad's got water. The Jewish Viking has a grape soda and is eating hot dogs, living his best 8-year-old life. But what if they were corn dogs? And R2VQ has Wayne Gretzky whiskey. Is that like a Canadian brand of whiskey? Does Wayne Gretzky have his own whiskey in Canada? A homebrewed porter, it's sweet tea. The results are all across the board. So enjoy your drinking while you geek. And we're in round 1 about crickets. It's a round about crickets, and we are at question 5. Number 5, Rickety Cricket is an old classmate / victim of the gang and an occasional visitor of Patty's Pub on what unkillable FXX show? Question number 5, Rickety Cricket is an old classmate / victim of the gang and an occasional visitor to Patty's Pub on what unkillable FXX show? I almost read as that is unlikable FXX show, and I don't know if it changes the answer at all. I'll be honest. Question number 6, round 1. Question number 6. Ooh. Head to Crickets Avenue in Lubbock, Texas, to see a giant pair of horn-rimmed glasses right outside a museum dedicated to what rockabilly singer? Ooh. Head to Crickets Avenue in Lubbock, Texas, to see a giant pair of horn-rimmed glasses right outside a museum dedicated to what rockabilly singer? Never been to Lubbock. Captain Dabby, I assume you're talking about Lubbock in general or just this museum in Lubbock? I don't know. Either way, clearly doesn't like it. We're at number 7. Round 1, question 7. Visitors could watch a fictional Chinese emperor train and feed his stable of fighting crickets when IBM built a virtual tour of what once inaccessible patch of Beijing? Question number 7, once again, visitors could watch a fictional Chinese emperor train and feed his stable of fighting crickets when IBM built a virtual tour of what once inaccessible patch of Beijing? I said, I've never actually been to Lubbock. The name doesn't really make it sound like a paradise. Lubbock, Texas. Yeah, I mean, it's right off the bat. You're like, I don't know. Sounds kind of like a substitute for lard. You got any Lubbock left? We got to make biscuits. A guy I went to high school with, though, moved there about a year ago, and he was really psyched because the cost of living was so low. So I guess there's that. We are at question number 8. Number 8 in the Guillermo del Toro version. A wood sprite forces Sebastian J. Cricket to be the conscience of what lying little jerk? Question number 8. Once again, in the Guillermo del Toro version of Wood Sprite, forces Sebastian J. Cricket to be the conscience of what lying little jerk? Well, so far, this entire quiz has not been a great advertisement for the city of Lubbock. But if you do live in Lubbock, I guess at this point, what I'm seeing from the chat is that I have to say, I'm sorry. I don't know. Could be worse. Maybe. But I don't know how. Anyway, that is it for round one, at least the questions proper. Time for the first bonus question of the evening. This is a deal where you're going to exclamation point and the answer. Put that in chat, and you will get an entry into the giveaway. Somebody's going to pick up $5 in credit to our online store, and one big winner at the end of the evening is going to get a big swag box full of Geeks Who Drink merchandise. So, yeah, you know the drill. Let's get on with the business of the question. Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Mumbai are all hosting matches at this year's Cricket World Cup. In what country that last won it in 2011? Exclamation point and the answer in the chat to get yourself an entry into the drawing to win $5 in credit at our Shopatorium. Once again, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Mumbai are all hosting matches at this year's Cricket World Cup. In what country that last won it in 2011? See the answers already pouring in. Give you a little bit more time on that. Come back and give you the answers for this round just a bit. Looks like we are well along on this bonus question. Y'all are picking it up pretty easily. So let's talk about answers for round one. My children of the night, around about crickets. Number one, add 40 to the number of times a thermometer cricket chirps in 15 seconds to get a pretty good approximation of the current gas prices. No, of course, it's temperature, and that temperature is in Fahrenheit. 40 to the number of times the thing chirps in 15 seconds. Whoever figured that out, I mean, I'm not going to say they had too much time on their hands. I'm going to say they had some time on their hands, and they knew what different crickets looked like. Pretty good. I'm no entomologist. I'm no entomologist. I don't think I've ever even looked at a cricket and been like, oh, that's a cricket. Because they hide. They hide on you. They chirp and they hide. Anyway, number two, because a horse and a dang dragon weren't enough, what Disney heroine also had a cricket sidekick gifted by her grandma? That's Mulan. Mulan at number two. And the Great Gabo, no, there is no other way to measure temperature in America. You have to have a special cricket, and then you have to do maths. Number three, insofar as crickets have a butt, it would be in which of their main body segments, the abdomen or the thorax? You know, if you had a butt in your thorax, I think you're doing it wrong. The butt is in the abdomen section, insofar as they have a butt. Abdomen at number three. Number four, after dividing A Christmas Carol into staves, the author who adorably split his holiday tale, The Cricket on the Hearth, into three chirps is, of course, Charles Dickens. Chuck Dickens or Chick Dickens to his friends, but Charles Dickens to you and I at number four. Number five, Rickety Cricket is an old classmate / victim of the gang and an occasional visitor to Patty's Pub on the unkillable or unlikable, whichever way you want to go with it, FXX show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The title is a lie as it is. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia at number five. Number six, ooh-wee-oo. Head to Crickett's Avenue in Lubbock, Texas. Beautiful, scenic Lubbock, Texas, to see a giant pair of horn-rimmed glasses right outside a museum dedicated to Buddy Holly. Charles Hardin Holly. Buddy Holly at number six. Number seven, visitors could watch a fictional Chinese emperor train and feed his stable of fighting crickets when IBM built a virtual tour of the inaccessible passive patch of Beijing known as the Forbidden City. It's right there in the name. Forbidden City. Let's see if I got this. Oh, wait. Okay. At number 8. In the Guillermo del Toro version of Wood Sprite forces Sebastian J. Cricket to be the conscience of what lying little jerk. That lying little jerk, of course, is Pinocchio. It's me, Pinocchio. Pinocchio at number 8. Now we are going to move on to the bonus question. I've got to see if I've got a winner for this particular bonus question. Let me do a little copying and pasting here on my end. I just banged my face on my microphone, so that's a good start. I believe I've got a winner. So let's do some more copying and pasting. Bang my head again on my microphone. And move on to the answer. Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Mumbai are all hosting matches at this year's Cricket World Cup. In the country that last won it in 2011, that, of course, is India. First, though, we're going to move on to round 2. Although Captain Dabby says, when do we get to hear about the mic? It looks super interesting. Are you trolling me? Because I talked all about it at the beginning. It's an American D33. It is cool. It's a 1958 model, all original, and I loved it. Yeah, but I've got, like I said, I got one back there, the D22. This is 11 better. It's a D33. American-made good microphones. They're from Pasadena, California in the 50s, and they're great. I love this one. I like this one a lot. Anyway, it is, oh yes, but how does it compare to the D44? Oh no, don't be sorry, Captain Debbie. I love talking about him. I just don't want to continue to talk about him because if I did, I'll just talk about the mics and I wouldn't do quiz. But we've got to do quiz, and it's time for round 2. And how does it compare to the D44? There is no such thing. But if there were, it would still be pretty good. Anyway, round 2 is the audio round for the evening. It's the first of 4 16-point rounds tonight. So if you are, if you're just itching to use that imaginary joker, here's your first good chance to do it. So what is this round all about? Well, hell, let's find out together. It's called Fight the Power Pellet. It's National Pac-Man Day. So these songs and their artists remind us of Pac-Man. And in the title and the artist of each song, 16 points are possible in the round. That, of course, is 1 point for the title, 1 point for the artist of each song. The Pac-Man. Here we go. Round 2, song number 1.
Yeah, you know what it is. Everything I do it big. Yeah, screaming that's not when I pulled off the lot. That's not right in my town. When you see me, you know everything.
Round number 2. Here's song number 2. One point for title, 1 point for artist. Round 2, here's song number 3.
Can't stay at home, can't stay at school. Old folks say you're pulling a fool. Stay on the street, I'm the girl next door. I'm the fox you've been waiting for. Hello, Daddy. Hello, Mom.
Round 2, Fight the Power Pellets. Title and artist, here's song 4.
Watching, waiting, commiserating. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home.
1 point for title, 1 point for artist. Round 2, here's song number 5.
I guess I just lost my husband, I don't know where he went. So I'm gonna drink my money, I'm not gonna pay his rent. I got a brand new attitude and I'm gonna wear it tonight. I wanna get in trouble, I wanna start a fight.
16 big points on the line in round 2. Here's song number 6.
As soon as I roll in, security better get with the program. Too deep, ain't nowhere to stand. So high, ain't nowhere
Songs or artists that remind us of the game Pac-Man. Here's song 7.
Anything necessary for him, and I do anything necessary for her. So don't let the necessary occur. Yep. All I need in this life is sin. It's me and my girlfriend. Me and my girlfriend.
Down the ride to the very end. It's me and my boyfriend.
Round number 2. Here's song number 8.
Go when I feed him, this is your moment, no hesitation. Today's your day, I feel it. You pave the way, believe it. If you get down, get up, oh, oh. When you get down, get up, eh, eh. Tamina, mina, sangalewa. This time for Africa.
All right, you're going to hear those songs one more time. Remember, you're just giving us the title and the artist of each song. Titles or artists have something to do with Pac-Man somewhere in there. I'm going to leave you alone for the read-through for the second time around. It's number 1.
You know what it is. Everything I do it big. Yeah, screaming that's not. When I pulled off the lot, that's done. Step up in my town when you see me, you know everything.
Can't stay at home, can't stay at school. Old folks say you're pulling a fool. Stay on the street, I'm the girl next door. I'm the fox you've been waiting for. Hello, Daddy. Hello, Mom. Watching, waiting, commiserating. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home. I guess I just lost my husband, I don't know where he went. So I'm gonna drink my money, I'm not gonna pay his rent. I got a brand new attitude and I'm gonna wear it tonight. I wanna get in trouble, I wanna start a fight.
Roll up soon as I roll in. Security better get with the program. Too deep, ain't nowhere to stand. So high, ain't nowhere to land. You remind me of something missing, missus. You got my full attention. Listen, let go of the tension. If I get a minute, I'll put your bad ass in detention.
She do anything necessary for him, and I do anything necessary for her. So don't let the necessary occur. Yep. All I need in this life is sin. It's me and my girlfriend. Me and my girlfriend.
Down the ride to the very end. It's me and my boyfriend. Go when I feed him, this is your moment, no hesitation. Today's your day, I feel it. You pave the way, believe it. If you get down, get up, oh, oh. When you get down, get up, eh, eh. Tamina, mina, sangalewa. This time for Africa.
Well, there you go. That is round number 2. And hopefully you did pretty well on it. We'll find out later how you did. It's time to take a break. I was watching the chat, and there was a little bit of hockey conversation going on. I played hockey for about 25 years. I don't play much anymore. Well, actually, I don't play ever anymore because I have bad hips. I dislocated a hip in a game. But back in 2004, I had my goalie helmet painted by the same guy who now does most of the NHL, David Gunnerson at Dave Art. Got my number on the back, Reaper side. But back then, he only did. He's in Sweden, and he really only did the Swedish Elite League and a few North American pros. But now, if you look up David Gunnerson, Dave Art, he does just about every goalie in the NHL now. And so having been on the fact that I could get it done by him back then, probably no way I'd be able to get on the list now. But back in 2004, that cost over 5,000 Swedish kroner, which translated to about 1,100 US, and it was worth every penny. And it was a great mask. I just always hated getting hit in the head because I was like, oh, don't chip the paint. Don't chip the paint. Hard seltzer with some whipped cream vodka on top to fortify it. That's somebody who's really committed to a certain kind of lifestyle. It's in the chat in case you're wondering where I'm getting it. Hi, we're back from break. It was a productive break. For me, I literally just sat here and stared off into space and then checked the timer a couple of seconds. Okay, we're ready to come back. So, here we go. We're about to find out the answers for round 2, which is the first the audio round, the only audio round, the first 16-point round. And remember, we have 4 16-point rounds tonight. Number 1 was Black and Yellow. Wiz Khalifa, of course. Pac-Man's yellow. Background's black. Number 2, Circles by Post Malone. Everybody knows that Post Malone is actually Pac-Man brought to life by a witch's curse. Number 3, Cherry Bomb by the Runaways. Cherry, all the shit the Pac-Man gets to eat. Number 4, All the Small Things, Blink-182, Blinky, one of the ghosts. Number 5, So What by Pink. Pinky, another one of the ghosts. Got into him when he was still pre-Malone. Nice. Show Me by Kid Ink. Inky. Blinky and Pinky and Inky. What do we got now? Oh, 3 Bonnie and Clyde. Jay-Z featuring Beyonce. Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. And number 8, of course, Waka Waka. This time for Africa, Shakira. That song works if we're doing a Muppets round or if we're doing a Pac-Man round. It's pretty darn good. Oh, and speaking of hockey, every time that Blink-182 song comes on, I get nostalgic for the old Stanley Cup this last season. The Avalanche won it, and the moment they clinched, the NHL put out a tweet with the Stanley Cup that said, "Turn the lights off, carry me home." And it's like, yeah. Yes. Hopefully they can do it again this time. It's gonna be tough getting out of the West, and man, the East is looking strong. What the hell is with Boston? Anyway, enough hockey talk, I guess. Let's do some quiz talk with round 3. Round 3 tonight is called Initial Here and Here. It's called that because what's going to happen is we're going to supply a brief description of a thing, and then its initials, and you give us its full name. Each question is going to be a brief description of a thing, and then we'll give you the initials, and you give us its full name. So, yeah. Question number 1. The 90s heartthrob who reappeared in CSI Cyber, JVDB. Question number 1. The 90s heartthrob who reappeared in CSI Cyber, JVDB. Oh, yeah, I forget I'm talking to a mostly non-sports crowd. So, the Colorado Avalanche play at what's called Ball Arena, named for the aerospace and/or can company. It used to be Pepsi Center. But anyway, there's a tradition at that arena that they'll play that Blink-182 song, and then they'll cut it. The crowd will just sing the whole song for the rest of the time. It's pretty cool. And so that kind of became a thing as the playoffs wore on. More people were aware of it, and yeah. It's a thing. It's just a thing. Every arena has its own little traditions. Question number 2. Number 2, an Asian-inspired Subway sandwich, SOCT. Round 3, question number 2, an Asian-inspired Subway sandwich, SOCT. great question, Captain Dabby. What was question 1? What are any of us doing here? What is the meaning of life? Is time still linear? Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer to any of that. Question number 3. The opening line to the prayer that you're supposed to say on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th beads of a rosary, if you're part of that cult. HMFOG. Question number 3. The opening line to the prayer you're supposed to say on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th beads of a rosary. Fog. See, this is a great part about doing this quiz on Twitch is somebody can ask a thoughtful and legitimate question in chat. I will completely ignore it, and then somebody else will come up with an answer for that person, which is great. See, that's how this is. It's teamwork. The real Twitch was the friends we made along the way. So this is a round we love to call round 3 because it's the 3rd round. Basically, each question is a description of a thing and its initials. You give us the whole name there, what the initials stand for, and we are at question 4. Number 4, the sad-sounding subtitle of the next Zelda game, TOTK. Question number 4, once again, the sad-sounding subtitle of the next Zelda game, TOTK. Round 3, question number 5. Number 5, a George Harrison contribution to the Beatles' White Album, WMGGW. Question number 5, once again, a George Harrison contribution to the Beatles' White Album, WMGGW. Round 3, initial here and here. This is one of those rounds that I think we're making it pretty easy on you. We're giving you a description of the initials. You just tell us what the initials stand for. I think you're going to do really well because you're all very smart. And we are at question number 6. Round 3, question 6. The venomous blob that looks like a jellyfish, but is really a colony of smaller organisms. PMOW. Question number 6. The venomous blob that looks like a jellyfish, but is really a colony of smaller organisms. PMOW. Round number 3, question number 7. Number 7, the English company that was willing to insure Tina Turner's legs and Springsteen's voice. LOL. Question number 7, the English company that was willing to insure Tina Turner's legs and Springsteen's voice. LOL. Anybody will sell you insurance if you want it bad enough. Here's question number 8. Number 8, AFI's number 1 pick for their 100 years, 100 movie quotes. FMDIDGAD. AFI's number 1 pick, number 8 again, AFI's number 1 pick for their 100 years, 100 movie quotes thing, FMDIDGAD. Downloaded some royalty-free music that I hadn't used before. Freshen things up. It's Still royalty free, though. It's just how life goes. Anyway, that is it for the questions proper in round number 3. And it's time for the next bonus question. Your next opportunity to get $5 in credit to our Shopatorium and maybe win a big swag box at the end of the evening. Exclamation point and the answer in the chat. Your bonus, starring Monique, the only movie based on the novel Push by Sapphire, the initial P. Your bonus, once again, starring Monique, the only movie based on the novel Push by Sapphire. It's P. You put exclamation point of the answer in the chat. Get an entry into the drawing. You might win $5 to the store. You might win a big swag box at the end of the night. Who knows? So stick with it. I'm going to give you a little time to get those answers in, and I will come back and let you know the answers in toto for round 3 in just a bit. I have this figured out, no problem. So we are going to move right along and talk about the answers for round number 3. Round 3, the 90s heartthrob who reappeared in CSI Cyber, JVDB. This is, of course, question number 1. And the answer to question number 1 is James Van Der Beek. It was his birthday not too long ago, and we did a whole video round about some other guy who looked like James Van Der Beek. Anyway, it's question number 2. An Asian-inspired Subway sandwich, SOCT, that, of course, is sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Which I don't go to Subway very often, but I've probably got the sweet onion chicken teriyaki as many times as I've got a club. It wasn't bad back in the day. Question number 3, the opening line to the prayer you're supposed to say on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th beads of a rosary, if you're Catholic. Humfog, that stands for Hail Mary, full of grace. I once had to sit through a full rosary, and it was at a friend's funeral, and he wasn't even Catholic. I don't even, his mom made this happen, and I was just like halfway through, I was checking my watch, how long does this last? 45 minutes. That's how long it lasted. 45 minutes of repetition for the full rosary. I just wanted to go have lunch and go home. Question number 4. A sad-sounding subtitle of the next Zelda game, TOTK, that, of course, is Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom at number 4. Number 5. A George Harrison contribution to the Beatles' White Album, WMGGW, is While My Guitar Gently Weeps. If your guitar is weeping, you might have a mold or mildew problem. You might have an irrigation problem. Lord knows you might have a humidity problem. But it is While My Guitar Gently Weeps at number 5. Number 6. The venomous blob that looks like a jellyfish but is really a colony of smaller organisms, PMOW, that is a Portuguese man-o'-war. Portuguese man-o'-war at number 6. Number 7. The English company that was willing to insure Tina Turner's legs and Springsteen's voice. LOL. It's not Laugh Out Loud. It's not League of Legends. It is Lloyd's of London. Lloyd's of London. Doesn't have the same syllabic thing as Werewolves, does it? We're Lloyd's of London. And number 8. AFI's number 1 pick for their 100 years, 100 movie quotes thing, FMDIDGAD. No, it is not Fuck Me, Did I Do Good There? It is something totally different. It is Frankly, My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn. Frankly, My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn. So there you go. Now we get to find out who actually won. If I can find my cursor. There it is. Find out who won the bonus question. I'm going to do some copying and pasting. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Back to the round 3 bonus question. Starring Monique, the only movie based on the novel Push by Sapphire. That P stands for Precious, of course. Round number 4 is called Safe House. Not safe as houses or anything clever, just Safe House. Anyway, Geeks Who Drink, we are bringing Hulu trivia to life in select cities this spring through live events across the country. You can check out geekswhodrink.com/Hulu for details. And as a preview to these events, Hulu paid us to sponsor the bonus question in round 4 tonight. That's this round, and tonight is tonight. So since you can find Safe House on Hulu, here got a round about banks, baseball stadiums, and that program, Safe House. It's a movie, I think. Anyway, it's a round about banks and baseball stadiums. And at the very end, Safe House. Cool? Cool. Here we go. It's number 1. Don't shout it out after that whole Silicon Valley Bank thing. What Treasury Secretary was relentlessly memed for her 2017 comment that we wouldn't see another financial crisis in our lifetimes. Question number 1 once again. Don't shout it out after that whole Silicon Valley Bank thing. What Treasury Secretary was relentlessly memed for her 2017 comment that we wouldn't see another financial crisis in our lifetimes. No, don't put answers in the chat. I probably should have said rules, exclamation point rules, but no, don't put any answers in the chat. We're not playing that way. So, this is your first time. It's your first time. It's all right. But you just, keep it to yourself and then keep your own score yourself. That's how we do things around here. No big deal. Question number 2. Round 4, question 2. Archaeologists working with the crew who built Orioles Park unearthed a saloon and supposedly an outhouse that belonged to the family of what future great Bambino? Question number 2. Archaeologists working with the crew who built Orioles Park unearthed a saloon and supposedly an outhouse that belonged to the family of what future great Bambino? At my live quiz, I'm extremely stern. I don't know, but a couple weeks ago, somebody named their team, "If you shout out answers, I will murder you," and I thought it was funny. But I think that's the vibe I give off. I don't know. I try to be very fun-loving and kind. But anyway, some of you have been to my live quiz. I'm fun. Of course, I'm fun. Anyway, round 4. It's about banks, it's about baseball stadiums, and the bonus is about Safe House. And we're at number 3. Because it's the national symbol of the Netherlands, Amsterdam-based ING uses a lion of what color as its logo? Question number 3. Because it's the national symbol of the Netherlands, Amsterdam-based ING uses a lion of what color as their logo? True, Gabo. The acoustics at my venue aren't necessarily ideal. The ceiling is like 100 feet high, and there's a lot of places for sound to get trapped. And the speaker stands are broken, so they don't go up very high. So I have to compensate a lot, but I don't know. I feel like it's all right. People can hear. So far, nobody's told me that they can't hear. Sometimes they hear too much. Anyway, question number 4. Just past the center field fence at Tampa Bay's Tropicana Field is a 10,000-foot tank where visitors can gently touch what guessable ocean dwellers. Question number 4, just past the center field fence at Tampa Bay's Tropicana Field is a 10,000-foot tank where visitors can gently touch what guessable ocean dwellers. 4, Safe House. Banks, baseball stadiums, and Safe House. Thanks, Hulu. We love money. Anyway, here's question number 5. Number 5, that tracks. Northern Italian bank Credito Emiliano accepts what locally produced dairy product as collateral? Question number 5, and tracks. Northern Italian bank Credito Emiliano accepts what locally produced dairy product as collateral? Round number 4. It's question number 6. Number 6, in March, a sellout crowd packed Miami's Lone Depot Park to watch Japan edge the U.S. in the final of what international tournament? Question number 6, in March, a sellout crowd packed Miami's Lone Depot Park to watch Japan edge the U.S. in the final of what international tournament? Number 4, question number 7 is number 7. It's more sarcastic than This Land Is Your Land, but the Jolly Banker is still very on brand for what anti-capitalist Sooner singer? Question number 7, once again, it's more sarcastic than This Land Is Your Land, but the Jolly Banker is still very on brand for what anti-capitalist Sooner singer? Usually, I can hold off. I can control the belching and then belch with mute on between questions. That one just snuck out. Oh, well. I'm very couth. Question number 8. Number 8, all that's left of the ballpark where the Pilots, Rainiers, and Steelheads played is a marker where home plate was near the entrance of a Lowe's store in what U.S. city? Question number 8, once again, all that's left of the ballpark where the Pilots, the Rainiers, and the Steelheads played is a marker where home plate was near the entrance of a Lowe's store in what U.S. city? Number 4, that is it for the questions proper. Time for the next bonus question. Your next opportunity to get $5 big in credit and maybe win a swag box at the end of the night. You know the drill about the exclamation point and the answer. So let's get to the question. The original script for Safe House had a bunch of flashbacks to The Farm, the famous training camp for what oft shady organization? Exclamation point and the initialism in the chat. Your bonus, once again, the original script for Safe House had a bunch of flashbacks. Help if I started the giveaway. Try it again if you didn't get one. There we go. The original script for Safe House had a bunch of flashbacks to The Farm, the famous training camp for what oft shady organization. I'm going to give you a little time to get those answers in, and I'll be back with answers for this round in just a bit. There you go. Y'all are getting it. Y'all figured it out. So let's move on and figure out the answers for this particular round of quiz. Sponsored by Hulu, at least the bonus question was, and that's awesome. So here we go. Number 1, don't shout it out. After that whole Silicon Valley Bank thing, what Treasury Secretary was relentlessly memed for her 2017 comment that we wouldn't see another financial crisis in our lifetimes. The don't shout it out, of course, was a hint because it is Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen at number 1. Number 2, archaeologists working with the crew that built Orioles Park unearthed a saloon and supposedly an outhouse as well that belonged to the family of Babe Ruth. George Herman Ruth at number 2. Number 3, Because it's the national symbol of the Netherlands, Amsterdam-based ING uses a lion as its logo, and the lion is orange. It's an orange lion at number 3. Number 4, just past the center field fence at Tampa Bay's Tropicana Field is a 10,000-foot tank where visitors can gently touch guessable ocean dwellers' rays. They get to touch rays. Rays, gently touch rays. Not just a bunch of guys named Ray. Apparently actual ocean-dwelling rays. Number 5. That tracks Northern Italian bank Credito Emiliano accepts cheese, specifically Parmigiano Reggiano, or probably more than just that, but they accept cheese as collateral because one of them big wheels can be like 30 grand, man. Cheese ain't no joke, but it's cheese at number 5. Number 6. In March, a sellout crowd packed Miami's Lone Depot Park to watch Japan edge out the U.S. in the final of the World Baseball Classic. And man, Shohei Ohtani, dominant in that tournament. Hope he's going to have a dominant season. I wish he played for the Rockies, but I guarantee if he did play for the Rockies, they would have traded him by now and probably paid somebody else to take him. The Rockies are a bad team. It's number 7. It's more sarcastic than This Land Is Your Land, but the Jolly Banker is still very on brand for the anti-capitalist singer known as Woody Guthrie. Woody Guthrie at number 7. And number 8. All that's left of the ballpark where the Pilots, the Rainiers, and the Steelheads played is a marker where home plate was near the entrance of a Lowe's in Seattle, Washington. Seattle is where all of those teams played, and that stadium is long gone. I'm going to do a little copying and pasting, see if I can find a winner for this particular bonus question. Looks like I can. I have, and I will. So, I'm going to do some more copying and pasting before we move on. Cool beans. All right, cool. Now let's move on to that bonus question. Somebody's going to pick up $5 big in credit to the shop online. Now, the original script for Safe House had a bunch of flashbacks to the farm. The farm was the infamous training camp for the CIA. CIA was the answer. We're going to move on to round 5. Now, round 5 is the video round for tonight, but it is also the second 16-point round of the night. It's a 16-point video round. So I was telling my girlfriend this, and she's like, I thought you said we were never going to have any more 16-point video rounds. And I was like, I don't remember saying it. So I made one. Anyway, let's find out together what this round is all about. Shall we? It's called The Score the Merrier. It is a 16-point round. For National Film Score Day, our crack AV technicians crammed iconic film scores into other movies to make them more better. So for 1 point, you name the movie on screen. For a second point, name the film or film franchise that the added score is from. Here we go. Number 1.
So good.
You want to see what's going on here?
Don't you stick that knife in your leg.
Oh, man! Ow! Well, hold on, hold on!
Stick that knife in your leg.
Oh, man!
So yeah, Jerfod, I did have fun making around. Sometimes my day job with Geeks Who Drink is pretty fun. Sometimes I get to do wacky shit like that, and I'm glad some of you liked it. Forgot to mention this at the top. I don't know if any of you are big Taskmaster UK fans like I am, or just a fan of British comedy in general, but last week, Tuesday, is it Tuesday? Tuesday of last week, got to see Sarah Millican do stand-ups. Right now, she's touring the U.S. with her show, Bobby Dazzler. They gave us a pin. I'm a Bobby Dazzler. Anyway, yeah, Sarah Millican's great. It was a really fun show, so if you get a chance to catch her while she's in the States, I highly recommend it. And if you've never watched Taskmaster, or you've never seen Sarah Millican, or you don't know what I'm talking about, yes, Little Alex Horn, look it up. It's so much fun. It's a fun show. She was a great part of that last season she was on. And a lot of these people who are on Taskmaster, you look up their stand-up afterward, look up the stuff they've done, and they're just fantastic, fantastic comedians. So, yeah, British humor. Yeah. Anyway, let's get going with the answers to round 5. Of course, the video round we just watched. Let's find out the answers. Starting at number 1. The movie, of course, is Turning Red. The very fitting soundtrack is Chariots of Fire. Number 2. I thought to myself, is there a whip scene in 50 Shades of Grey? There is. So I added the Raiders March from the Indiana Jones franchise. Number 3. I know that it's Ted, and then that's the soundtrack from Rocky, the score from Rocky. I'm sure there have been other mashup videos with this score over that scene, but this is the only one I've done. Number 4, I just can't get enough of it. He needs his glasses. Where's his glasses? My Girl with Jaws. The Bees, number 5. That is one of the worst movies of all time. It's Morbin time. Morbius with the Superman score. Number 6.
Don't you stick that knot in your leg.
Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, paired with Psycho. There's number 7. That's a movie called The Harder They Fall, paired with the score from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And number 8. Beauty and the Beast with The Lion King. So, there you go. I'm sure, yeah, that's probably where y'all are going to use your Joker tonight, I would imagine, because it's a 16-point visual round. They don't fly as hard as some of the other 16-point rounds. But speaking of, we're going to move right along to the third 16-point round of the night, round 6. It's called A Whole New World. Oh, shit, it's a speed round. You love speed rounds. We all love speed rounds. Speed rounds... We have to say, I'm legally required to say that we love speed rounds. Like, I had to sign a cease and desist. Anyway, according to the UN, there are 33 countries that are part of Latin America and the Caribbean. Now, you're going to have 4 minutes to name any 16 of the 21 that are not in South America. And as a hint, 3 of the more obscure ones have Saint right in their names, but that's it. It's a speed round. You have 4 minutes. Do it. Now, if we were at a regular quiz, I would be saying things like, no, you can turn in early if you get done early. But I guess in this case, if you're taking advantage of karaoke, you can give it to karaoke early, or you can score yourself early if you get done early. But once again, there are 33 countries that are part of Latin America and the Caribbean. You have 4 minutes to name any 16 of the 21 that are not in South America. We're down to 2 minutes, 52 seconds and counting. 4 minutes seems like a long time. I'm sure you're all done by now. Seconds to go. And remember that hint, 3 of the more obscure countries have Saint right in the name. I have a feeling you're going to do really well. 2 minutes, 3 seconds. One minute, 30 seconds remaining in this speed round. I guess the only one you have to turn this into is either karaoke or yourself, so. If I were you, though, I wouldn't cut yourself any slack if you were late. I just wouldn't. But at 14... under a minute in this speed round. Remember, according to the UN, 33 countries are part of Latin America and the Caribbean. We gave you 4 minutes to name any 16 of the 21 that are not in South America. 3 of them have Saint right in the name, and we're at 40 seconds left. Live, I would be like, I must lock this round in 30 seconds. But I don't have to lock anything because this is Twitch. It's an honor system, so you have to be honorable. 22 seconds to go. Seconds. 7 seconds. 3 seconds. 1 second. Time is up on the old speed round. So, if you are utilizing karaoke for your score, send it to karaoke. Time's up. Get it over there. Go. If you're using yourself for scoring, put your pencils down and start scoring. Well, you will when you actually find out the answers. First, though, we got to talk about something very important, which, of course, is the next bonus question. $5 in credit on the line at our online store. Exclamation point and the answer in the chat. Let's find out together what this is. Angola, Mozambique, and a big chunk of South America are Lusophone, which means they speak what Romance language? Exclamation point and the answer in the chat. Get yourself entries into the drawing to win that $5 and maybe a big swag box at the end of the night. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to get those answers in. We'll come back and go over the answers for this speed round in just a bit. Once again, this did not stump y'all. You're getting your answers in like champs. So I am going to move on and show you the answers for this speed round 6. As a reminder, according to the UN, there are 33 countries that are part of Latin America and the Caribbean. We gave you 4 big minutes to name any 16 of the 21 that are not in South America. Those 21 are Antigua and Barbuda. That's all one. Bahamas. Barbados, Belize, Costa Rica, Cuba, Dominica, and Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Grenada, Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, Jamaica, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Panama, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad, and Tobago. So there you go. That's all 21. Yeah, that's it. That's all 21. That's all you get. And now we get to go back to this round 6 bonus question and find out who won. Let's see if I've got a winner already. Just checking. Let's check and see. Copy and paste, checking and seeing. So yeah, shoot. Looks like I got one. That's cool. All right. So that bonus question, once again, Angola, Mozambique, and a big chunk of South America are Lusophone. That means that they speak what Romance language? That Romance language is Portuguese. All right, like I said, this random knowledge final round, it is random knowledge, but it is also a 16-point round. The fourth 16-point round of the night. That means some of the questions will have multiple parts, be worth multiple points, which I will tell you how much each is worth. So it's about the level of attention you have to pay. It is the amount of attention you are paying right now. Here we go. Number 1, coincidentally worth 1 point. Number 1, closed in 2017 after 146 years. What traveling show is coming back this fall, new, improved, and without any animals? Question number 1 again. Closed in 2017 after 146 years. What traveling show is coming back this fall, new and improved, and without any animals? You might be right, Lethal Corpse, the intro and big build-up and big pageantry for the final round. Tonight, yeah, takes longer than round 6. Speed rounds are weird, man. Tell you what, though, in the before times when we actually had, people writing stuff down and handing it in and we had to hand score, I hated speed rounds. Now, with the way we do things, I don't mind them as much. It's just like, ooh, I'll get home early. Anyway, final round, random knowledge. Question number 2 is worth 2 points. Some astute Ted Lasso viewers noticed a discrepancy in the 3rd season premiere. There are no nonstop flights from what city's Heathrow Airport to what Midwest city's MCI Airport? Name the 2 cities. Question number 2, 2 points. Some astute Ted Lasso viewers noticed a discrepancy in the 3rd season premiere. There are no nonstop flights in the real world from what city's Heathrow Airport to what Midwest city's MCI Airport? Round, random knowledge, 16 points, and Lethal Corpse. I know I'm home right now, but like at a live quiz when I'm not home and I get a speed round, I'm like, cool, I get to go home early. That's what I meant. But it's okay. It's question number 3. Number 3 is worth 1 point. What retirement age lifting foreign politician anagrams to clean manure, Mom? You have your anagram. Unscramble it. Find your answer. Question number 3 once again. What retirement age lifting foreign politician anagrams to clean manure, Mom? Final round. 16 big points on the line. And question number 4 is worth 3 of those points, and there are 3 points on weird sequel novels. What 2015 Harper Lee sequel was written before To Kill a Mockingbird? Closing Time is Joseph Heller's 1994 sequel to what wartime satire? And Benjamin Braddock's MILF-in-Law seduces a principal in Homeschool, Charles Webb's bizarre 2007 sequel to what novella? Question number 4, 3 points on weird sequel novels. What 2015 Harper Lee sequel was written before To Kill a Mockingbird? Closing Time is Joseph Heller's 1994 sequel to what wartime satire? And Benjamin Braddock's MILF-in-Law seduces a principal in Homeschool, Charles Webb's bizarre 2007 sequel to what novella? Final round, random knowledge, 16 points on the line. 4th 16-point round of the night. So if any of you still have a joker, I'm kind of doubting it tonight, but, who knows? Maybe you hung on thinking this was going to be your round. Well, who knows? Let's find out. Question number 5, 1 big point. 39 years after his alleged death, what Mighty Mouse singing comedian is finally getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this month? Actually, technically, it was lip-syncing, but number 5, once again, 39 years after his alleged death, what Mighty Mouse lip-syncing comedian is finally getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this month? Final round. Question number 6. Number 6 is a 3-point question, and it's for sports people. Sports! Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, and Jimmy Garoppolo are presumed to be next season's starting quarterbacks for what 3 NFL teams that were recently led by well-known gunslingers? Question number 6, 3 points. Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, and Jimmy Garoppolo are presumed to be next season's starting quarterbacks for what 3 NFL teams that were recently led by well-known gunslingers. Hey, we had questions about bugs and math. We can have a little sports as a treat. There's question number 7. Question number 7 is worth 1 point. Might be the 1 point that you need to win this game. We'll find out. That we had one question about cricket, kind of like, well, it was about where the cricket World Cup's going to be held. It was about cricket. Anyway. The city that rhymes with fun was a cheeky, short-lived slogan for what Canadian prairie capital that actually rhymes with something else. Question number 7, the city that rhymes with fun was a cheeky, short-lived slogan for what Canadian prairie capital that actually rhymes with something else. I will say, though, that those kind of sports questions are my favorite to run live because then you get to see the wrong answers that people truly believe that, they were giving it their best shot. And then they're naming they're all over the map. But that's what happens sometimes. And I love it. Question number 8. Number 8 is worth 4 points. You just have to tell me, am I talking about legendary aviatrix Amelia Earhart or Fox News host Ainsley Earhart? Once did a flight with the Air Force's Thunderbird Squadron, was a part-time editor for Cosmo, during a pandemic said now is the safest time to fly, and wrote a memoir titled The Fun of It. Question number 8. Each fact is either about Amelia Earhart or Ainsley Earhart. Once did a flight with the Air Force's Thunderbird Squadron, part-time editor for Cosmo, during a pandemic said now is the safest time to fly, and wrote a memoir titled The Fun of It. That is it for the questions proper in the final round. Now it's time for the final bonus question of the evening. Last opportunity to grab $5 in credit to the store and last opportunity to get an entry into the end of the night drawing to win a big swag box. Once again, the exclamation point of the answer in the chat. And I'm going to let you know we're going singular on this. Buildings on Mars might use a new compound called starcrete, which combines the planet's dirt with salt and starches from what veggie that Matt Damon ate a ton of in The Martian. Go with the singular exclamation point of the answer in the chat. Buildings on Mars might use a new compound called starcrete, which combines the planet's dirt with salt and starches from what veggie Matt Damon ate a ton of in The Martian. You get your answers in. I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. And here in a bit, I'll come back and let you know the answers to this final round of quiz for the evening. Y'all are getting the hang of it as usual. You got all those answers flying in. So let's talk about the actual answers for this round. The final round, starting at question number 1. Closed in 2017 after 146 years. What traveling show is coming back this fall, new and improved and without any animals? That would be the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. No animals. Go and see the show. A lot of clowns, probably. Probably a lot more skill acts. That's what the kids are into these days, right? Anyway, question number 2. 2 points. Some astute Ted Lasso viewers noticed a discrepancy in the third season premiere that there are no nonstop flights from London's Heathrow Airport to MCI in Kansas City. London and Kansas City at number 2. Number 3, what retirement age lifting foreign politician anagrams to clean manure, Mom? Well, you rearrange those letters and you get Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron? That's the answer. Number 3. Number 4, 3 points on weird sequel novels. The 2015 Harper Lee sequel that was written before To Kill a Mockingbird. That is Go Set a Watchman. Closing Time is Joseph Heller's 1994 sequel to the wartime satire Catch-22. And Benjamin Braddock's MILF-in-Law seduces a principal in Homeschool. Charles Webb's bizarre 2007 sequel to The Graduate. So Go Set a Watchman, Catch-22, and The Graduate at number 4. Number 5. 39 years after his alleged death, the Mighty Mouse lip-syncing comedian who's getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this month is Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman at number 5. If you know anything about Andy Kaufman, you know he had a big deal where he had a feud with Jerry Lawler. Anyway. 3 points. Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, and Jimmy Garoppolo are presumed to be next season's starting quarterbacks for the 3 NFL teams that were recently led by well-known gunslingers. That, of course, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, recently led by Tom Brady. Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be there anymore. We assume he won't be there next season. And the Las Vegas Raiders, who finally jettisoned the dead, dumb weight of Derek Carr. Some voodoo must have been involved to get the Saints to take him, but he's gone. Tampa Bay, Green Bay, and Las Vegas at number 6. Number 7. The city that rhymes with fun was a cheeky, short-lived slogan for the Canadian prairie capital, Regina, Saskatchewan. Regina at number 7. Not sure what is that? What does that rhyme with? I don't know. Regina, Saskatchewan at number 7. You guys, it said Midwest City. If you're debating between Kansas or Missouri, I don't know what your problem is. It was just Midwest City, and MCI is in Kansas City on the Missouri side. It doesn't matter if you, in your head, were like, well, is it Kansas or Missouri? It didn't matter. It was Kansas City. Right? Cool. Angina, Saskatchewan. 4 points at number 8. It was either legendary aviatrix Amelia Earhart or Fox News host Ainley Earhart. Womp womp. Once did a flight with Air Force's Thunderbirds. That, of course, is Ainsley because, the Thunderbirds didn't exist when Amelia Earhart existed. Part-time editor for Cosmo. That was Amelia Earhart. During a pandemic, said now's the safest time to fly. That, of course, is Ainsley. And wrote a memoir titled The Fun of It. That is Amelia. So Ainsley Amelia at number 8. Now the end is near, and so we face the final bonus. I've got to do some copying and pasting to make sure I've got a winner. Anyway, let's move on. Back to the final round bonus question. Here we go. Buildings on Mars might use a new compound called starcrete, which combines the planet's dirt with salt and starches from potatoes. The potato is the vegetable in question. I have a great time hosting it. It's a lot of fun to see new people. It's a lot of fun to see all the old folks in here and all the people who've been sticking around. Because this is fun. This is a fun time. Fun way to spend a Monday evening. And don't forget, we are doing these things live all over the country, probably in your neck of the woods. So go check us out. You can check out the full schedule of quizzes at geekswhodrink.com. Find a quiz near you. Go play. If you're ever in Colorado Springs on a Thursday night, come see me. I'm at the Public House at the Alexander on Thursdays. It's a good time. And if you're ever in Colorado Springs on a random night where I'm at Looney's Comedy Corner, I know in June, no, it's May. May, I'm going to be in Phoenix for the World Series of Comedy. June, I'm going to be in Dallas for the World Series of Comedy. So I'll talk to y'all before then, give you some details. Probably not. Who knows? Maybe. But yeah, get out and tell some actual jokes. But thank you once again. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. It was a great time. Stay safe, and we will see you back again next Monday. Good night.